Greetings everyone, and I hope you're all happy and healthy out there, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, you guessed it, it's another 1/6 scale figure unboxing and review, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into Big Chief Studios' take on the world's most famous spy. Yes, it's 007 himself, aka James Bond, aka Sean Connery, as he appeared in the first ever big screen outing of Ian Fleming's now legendary character. Yes, it's the man that every man wants to be and every woman wants to be with. It's James Bond from Dr. No. Directed by Terence Young way back in 1962 when I was merely a lewd thought at the back of my father's mind. The review will take the same well-trodden path. We'll have a quick look at the box, then it'll be down onto the table for a look at all the accessories. Then it will be out with the holder of a license to kill himself onto the stand, onto the turntable for a close-up look. Then we'll be wrapping the whole thing up with the usual showcase at the end, where we may just have to reintroduce him to Dr. Julius No. But as always, before we get into it, shout-outs, background. Firstly, a huge thank you to everyone who's supported and subscribed to the channel. And for those of you watching the content but not subscribing, please take the plunge. Hit that subscribe button. Not only will you be helping us here at Go Figure to keep doing what we're doing, but you will be able to sleep soundly at night knowing that somewhere you've made an old man very happy. And money can't buy that feeling. So, some quick background. Regulars to my channel will know I am a huge Bond fan, goes without saying. Connery being my favourite ever Bond. I'm not going to start rambling on too much about Ian Fleming, the ups and downs of the franchise, or the many different actors who played Bond, because unless you've spent your entire life under a rock, I find it very hard to believe that there's anyone out there who hasn't heard of 007. And I'm not going to go into any great monologue about Big Chief Studios' turbulent history either, and ultimate demise last year. If you want to know about Big Chief Studios, check out my Captain Scarlet review on the channel, which explains it all in a lot more depth. Suffice it to say, I loved Big Chief Studios' work, well, most of the time. I'll put a caveat there. And they will be sorely missed. But that's enough of my OO7 ramblings. Let's take a look at this box. So, what are we looking at? It's the usual box that we sort of come to expect from Big Chief Studios. Shoebox design. Let's bring it round so we can have a closer look. What you've got going on here, and you really do need to see most of the actual box itself to appreciate this, you've got a replication of the opening title montage with the gun barrel, and that's replicated here with this circle, and then you've got the effects of the inside of the gun barrel on the sides of the box as well, but they're picked out in this really sort of super reflective high gloss sections on the box itself, which is a really nice touch. So you've got that whole sort of title opening sequence montage thingy going on the box. But yeah, on the front of the box, 3 shots of the figure itself, one holding a gun, one face straight on, one at a slight angle. It says Dr. No, character replica figures there. At the bottom here as well, you've got these sort of multicolored dots. Now, Bond aficionados will know that this is actually, these were actually used in the opening title sequence of Dr. No. So it gives it that extra feeling of authenticity. Top right-hand corner, collector's edition, nicely done with the 007 there. On the left-hand side, you've just got 007, continuation of those dots and a continuation of that sort of interior of the gun barrel in that super high gloss finish. On the right-hand side, obviously, it's the continuation of that barrel again. It says Dr. No, continuation of those dots. Let's have a look on the top. Once again, Dr. No. And your usual warnings and credits on the bottom there. And also, worthy of note at this point, that this was actually limited to 2,000 run worldwide, this being number 46. So, yeah, and let's take a look around the back. What have we got on the back? It's essentially, you've got this sort of black and white grayscale description of Dr. No, description of Bond, and a little bit of background on Big Chief Studios there as well. So yeah, if you wanted to read that, hit the pause button. All the warnings and credits are on the bottom of this box. Don't piss this figure off, or it might unload its wealth of PPK in your direction. So yeah, that's the box. It's a shoebox design, and actually we'll open this on camera, and good to note at this point, this is not a brand new figure to me. I've had it in the collection a while, so the figure isn't in the box. But in keeping with most of Big Chief Studios' figures and the 007 line itself, it's got this slipcover on the inside. Once again, it's a picture of the figure, replicating the sequence at the opening of the film where he's playing, and I believe now, is it Baccarat? I'm sure someone will correct me in the comments section if I'm getting this wrong. I know it's not poker. Could be Baccarat, but we'll call it Baccarat. Lighting his cigarette there, and the continuation of those dots and that gun barrel effect. And if you actually take this out, there's no figure behind here, obviously, because this isn't a brand new figure. But what we do have, and it's just a really, really nice inlay here. You've got this sort of montage of shots of the figure itself, replicating scenes from the film. Flip it round, and you've got that gun barrel effect as well. Really nice for photography, or possibly use in the display if you're wanting to do that. So yeah, nice touch there from Big Chief. So that's the box, and it just has a very, very nice sort of 60s aesthetic to it. And a high-end feel. So without further ado, let's dive down onto the table and have a look at all the accessories that come with your James Bond figure. Okay, so here we are down on the table with all the accessories that come with your 007 figure. And there's quite a lot to go at here, so we'll crack on. We'll start with the hands as we always do. Standard issue joke, you know me and my hands. There's, I believe, 10 hands in total here, 5 pairs, so a lot of choice, good to see. We'll grab 1 or 2 at random. You have fisted hands, you have weapon holding hands, you have this, for want of a better expression, karate chop hand. Let's grab 1 at random. Let's take a look at this one. This looks like a hand for perhaps holding card maybe, or one of the actual chips, the casino chips, that will come to those. But let's take a look at the sculpt and the paint applications here. And I have to say the detailing here is pretty good. The sculpt is very good. There's bone structure in there, there's vein work, there's multiple paint applications on there to create that skin-like texture and tone. There's some rending in the knuckles there. We've even got some fingernails, and quite nicely done fingernails they are too. Creasing in the palms of the hands. Yeah, overall, very, very good. Excellent hands indeed. Let's do the flexibility test. Yeah, we've got a medium there, so that's my preferred sort of resistance for gripping accessories, as viewers to my channel will know. So yeah, there's that hand. Let's grab another one at random. This looks like a gun holding hand. Once again, same quality of paint application, same quality of sculpt. So yeah, we're off to a good start here. Those hands are very good, so we'll pop those to one side. While we're on the subject of hands, you get these spare wrist pegs, and you also get these spare foot pegs as well, which is unusual to see in a 6-scale figure. So nice addition there from Big Chief Studios, and also unopened, which is always a good sign in a figure. I mean, I believe this figure is about 2 years old, maybe slightly over 2 years old. The initial figure that Bond figure that they released was the I believe was the Sean Connery 007 from the Goldfinger. I got there eventually, having to rack the back of my brain there, which had some issues with the tailoring and some issues with the head sculpt a little bit as well. And I think they were actually recalled for better tailoring. But yeah, this one was their second attempt, and it's, like I say, it's good to see that they've included these foot pegs as well as wrist pegs. So yeah, pop those to one side. Let's look at the casino paraphernalia. The eagle-eyed amongst you will probably have noticed there is a huge pile of playing cards over here. I have sausage fingers, as you know, and I attempted to stack these up for the purposes of this section, which was a futile exercise. But yeah, you've got what appears to be a couple of complete sets of playing cards. I'll try and get these into shot. They are very, very small. But the level of detailing on there is really nice. They're only made of card, so relatively flimsy, but the printing on there is really nice. You've got that sort of HD look of a playing card there. And yeah, I think there may be 2 sets there, but yeah, nothing on the other side, unfortunately. Playing on one side, but they've got the playing card image on the front side. Talking of playing cards, we'll take a look at this card shoe that comes with the figure. All one piece of sculpted plastic. Some nice paint applications on here, on the sides to give it that wood look. Those paint applications are continued underneath and on the handle. The top section obviously is plastic as well, but it's been given this sort of matte gunmetal grey paint effect to replicate metal, and it also says the name of the casino on the front as well. And if you're wanting to, you can lift this off and stack the cards inside there and have them coming out of the front of the shoe if you're wanting to replicate that casino scene again. So yeah, nice addition. We'll put that to one side. I won't even attempt to put these playing cards to one side. They will just go everywhere. You also get these chips. Now these are plastic. I'm meant to obviously replicate the chips that he uses in the opening of the film. Very nicely done. The shape looks screen accurate to me. Each one is its own individual shape. You get a 50, a 500, and a 100 chip. You've got a picture of the casino on the front, the name of the casino on the back, and the value of the chip. And say these are plastic, so they're relatively tough, hard wearing, and yeah, you get 2 of each of those. So that's the chips. Also, while we're on casino paraphernalia, let's take a look at these notes. You get these pile of Bank of England notes. Fortunately, these are all one piece of sculpted plastic. They're not individual notes, but they're bound together with this sort of what looks like a stuck-on card or maybe paper tie around the centre. But yeah, obviously, even in 1/6 scale, you're not allowed to replicate banknotes, so they are missing some details. But on the whole, yeah, they're nice for the display if you're wanting, as I say, to create that casino-type scene. And there's 3 of them, so yeah. Banknotes to one side. What else do you get? Bond's wristwatch. Now, once again, all one piece of sculpted plastic. Handle is plastic, painted black, and then you've got this sort of aged and weathered face. If I can get this into shot, it's actually quite nice. It's quite well done. The detailing on there is pretty good. So yeah, that's Bond's watch. Not sure what type of watch it's supposed to be. Excuse me for knocking the camera there if you've got any wobble. But yeah, well done and screen accurate as far as I can tell. Let's take... Oh, you also get the set of instructions. And in proper bloke fashion, these remain unopened. This is about putting on the watch, how you work with the weapons, and all the other bits and pieces you need to know, which, as I say, remain unopened. So we'll put those to one side. What else? Weapons. Yes. Now it comes with 2 weapons. There is the Walther PPK, and we'll take a look at this first. Now this actually comes in the box that's given to him by Q at the opening of the film as well, when he takes his Beretta off him and extols the virtues of the Walther PPK. So yeah, we'll take a look at the Beretta itself first. Relatively simple sculpt here, not vast amounts of paint applications on here. It does look like there's a little bit of silver dry brushing on there to pick out the details, and actually, I don't think the camera will pick this up, but it actually does say Beretta down the side of it. So, yeah, nicely done and screen accurate. No cocking action here, but I do believe this magazine comes out. Yeah, you've got a removable magazine if this wants to come out, and it doesn't. Yeah, this does not want to play. For some reason, that is sticking. I don't think I have ever taken this cartridge, this magazine out. Oh, there we go, it's come out. Oh yeah, and we've even got a painted bullet in the end there. Nice to see. So yeah, that's the Beretta, which was summarily replaced with the Walther PPK, which came in this really nice box. So the Big Chief Studios have replicated the box here. Obviously, it's all sculpted plastic, but we've got this sort of painted veneer on here to give it that wood effect. They painted a gold clasp on there. So yeah, level of detailing and attention to detail, very, very nice. And this whole thing sort of has a high-end feel to it, which is really nice to see. So yeah, it's hinged box. It opens up, and inside we have the eponymous Walther PPK itself. Now you can take this out. I will attempt to get this out. I believe these bullets are removable as well, but I'm not even going to attempt to do that. I struggle with 1/6 scale cards. Never mind 1/6 scale bullets. So yeah, the interior of this has got a nice green sort of colour to it. Once again, it's sculpted plastic. You've even got sort of the what looks like a certificate, and for some reason that light's turned itself out. Let me put that back on. Yeah, you've got a certificate on the inside there as well, which is really nicely done. It just feels exceptionally authentic. Let's have a quick look at the Walther PPK. Pretty similar story to the Beretta. I believe this has got a removable magazine as well. Yeah, there's some silver dry, a little bit of dry brushing on there to give that a tiny amount of weathering, but not too much. So yeah, that's the Walther PPKM box. Very nicely done. Finally, and there is a lot to go out here, you have a 6-scale cigarette case and a 6-scale lighter. All done in sculpted plastic, relatively straightforward, with some silver dry brushing on there and detailing to give it that to give it that sort of depth and slightly used look. Worth mentioning at this point as well, the Bond figure does come with a 6-scale cigarette, which you probably saw when we looked at the back of the box. Unfortunately, that hasn't disappeared. I do know where it is, but it is in a container with all my other 6-scale cigarettes, and it's the container that seems to be temporarily indisposed. So, but trust me, what you do get is a completely all-white 1 6-scale plastic cigarette if you're wanting to pose in with that. So yeah, that's all the smoking apparel done. Finally, I wasn't say. The base itself, the stand. I have a love-hate relationship with this base. I was choosing my words carefully there. People who know Big Chief Studios will know this base. Me personally, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but it is what it is. And essentially, what you have is, and we'll just turn it off for the time being. You have this sort of oval plastic section with, and it is all plastic with this the nameplate holder at the front here. I'll try and get this all in shot. We'll take a quick look at the back. On the back, you've got Collector's Edition, Big Chief Studios, usual bits and pieces there. 6 foam pads rather, to give it stability. If you're putting it on a shelf, glass shelf, whatever it might be. Battery compartment, Phillips head screwdriver will take that out. 3 AAA batteries in there, and then the on-off button on the bottom there. On the top, it's very, very simple. It's just this silver painted plastic top and the actual plaque holder itself. You get this acrylic nameplate, which is frosted out, and then you've got James Bond, Dr. No, and I believe I don't know whether that's actually, I think that's been, I don't want to say laser etched, but I think it's been printed onto the acrylic itself. But yeah, people who have experience of Big Chief Studios will recognise these. And this acrylic section simply slots in the front here. Now, what we'll do is we'll turn this on, and this is where my issues tend to come with the Big Chief Studios bases. They have a light up feature, obviously, with that battery compartment. You slot your acrylic section in here. Now, oh, there it goes. It came on first time. Somewhere around here, I've got it first time, I think. They can be very temperamental, these, but what essentially you've got is a strip of LEDs at the bottom of this section here, and there is a touch sensor at the side here. So when you touch it, it lights up, and that light then comes up through the acrylic to give it this nice sort of illuminated effect. And actually, that looks quite bright. It's not the most effective thing in the world, and these can often be temperamental. Finding the sweet spot on this base sometimes is hit and miss. And you do really, really need dim lighting to actually fully appreciate the light up effect, because a lot of that light diffuses inside the base rather than coming actually up through the acrylic itself. But yeah, it is what it is. It's not a feature I use, but it's there if you want it. So yeah, that's the base, and standard issue crotch grabber to go with it, which simply slots in there. So there you have it. That's all the accessories, and a hell of a lot of them there are too. So without further ado, let's bring out the spy himself, the master spy, get him onto the stand, onto the turntable, and take a close-up look at 007. Okay, so here he is. It's 007 himself, James Bond, Sean Connery. Onto the stand, onto the turntable, and let's have a close-up look at him. Obviously can't give first impressions with this figure, simply because it's been in the collection a while, but you know me and my second, third, fourth, 104th impression, and I am still, 2 years down the line, still very, very impressed with this figure, especially when I bring him out of the cabinets and get him and get up close and personal with him. Proportions look absolutely spot on. The tailoring looks nailed to me. We'll come to that head sculpt, obviously, when we get up close and personal with him. But yeah, overall, just really, really, really good. Smacks of quality and looks fantastic. So let's take a look at some of the details. Let's stop him from spinning, get him off this this turntable and into camera. Now, I'll say straight off the bat here, this has been in a pose which is sort of I wouldn't say it's not damaged in any way, but it's involved some futzing of the jacket there, which has meant that one of his sleeves is actually ridden up ever so slightly. But we'll take a look at that when we get in closer into camera, which we'll do now. We'll do what we always do. We'll start at the bottom and work our way up. Pegged straight into the legs are these black shoes, all one piece of sculpted plastic, relatively simple sculpt there. They just look like plain Oxfords, as I say, which are just pegged straight in. What they have done here, and I'm not sure if the camera's picking this up, it's not really a black sock, but what they've done is the outer part of the ball joint, they painted the same colour as the shoe itself, so at least there's some continuity and no exposed leg under there. There is a thread hanging down here, which is, that's come straight away, come straight off straight away, rather. Yeah, so the feet have got that full range of motion as a result, because they're pegged straight in. Moving up to this suit now, the material of this suit is really, really nice. It's not the finest weave, but it's woven just enough in that sort of angled line weave, so to speak. I am no tailor, so forgive my expressions here, but yeah, the screen accuracy looks on point. The cut looks really, really well done. It feels quality and premium in the hand. Now, the suit is a deep blue. I think some people do tend to make the mistake of believing that the tux that he wore at the opening of the film was actually black. It's not. It is this very, very deep dark blue colour, which they've absolutely nailed here, Big Chief Studios. I'll get it closer into camera so you can get an idea of that colour and the cut. The stitch work is really, really nice in these seams on the inside here. We've got the stripe down the side, of a slightly different material. Once again, that is screen accurate. We'll bring him round to the back. Now, as with most dark suited figures, this is an utter dust magnet. Any small hairs or dust, as you can see, it picks up everything, so it needs to be brushed down, shall we say, on a regular basis. So yeah, the jacket itself, we'll bring it back round. The jacket itself, once again, I'm 100% screen accurate as far as I can tell. These pockets are functional, I believe. Call me a liar. No, I don't think they are actually. Now, I'm going to have to try and get my hand in here, so I don't want to knock any lights. No, they are. They're functional. So you've got two functional pockets on this jacket. The cut is really, really good, befitting the time when the film was actually made in the early 60s. That was the style and the screen accuracies there. As I say, this cuff is slightly ridden up, but it's very, very easy to get back down again. It's ridden up simply when I was taking the actual 6-scale watch off to show in the accessories section, but it's not a problem just to pull that back down. A pair of needle nose pliers and a little pull, and it's fine. What you should be getting is this kind of cuff showing on this dress shirt, and the material on this dress shirt is really nice. But we'll just take a look at the sleeves on this jacket. Really well done. Once again, that tailoring is really nice. The material corresponds to that of the trousers. It is lined, this jacket, and you've got this sort of nylon stroke, whatever it might be, lining on the inside. So it gives it's slightly thicker than the trousers itself, but that man-made fibre lining is also seen here on the cuffs of the jacket as well. 6-scale buttons sewn in on the wrist there. Moving up, the actual the collar itself, once again, is screen accurate, and it's that slightly shinier material, slightly finer weave. As I mentioned, this shirt underneath is really nicely done. This dress shirt with the rib section at the front there. You've got 6-scale silver buttons. The quality of the cotton there is really nice. The 6-scale stitch work is very, very good. You've got this bow tie. Once again, this is a sort of nylon material, but that collar looks really, really effective. overall, yeah, the risk of this becoming a gush fest, I think what really sets this apart is the tailoring. Fantastic tailoring on this figure, really, really well done. And I think most collectors, as collectors, we know, I mean, one of the hardest things to get right, putting head sculpts to one side, is actually is nailing a 6 scale suit, getting the stitching right, the proportions right, getting the fall right. And I think Big Chief have really, really nailed it here. But yeah, so up to the head sculpt now. This head sculpt, this is this photographs so well. I find it really difficult to criticise this. Sometimes in hand, it can look ever so slightly off, but I think on the whole, I mean, we've got to remember here, we're looking at a Connery who was 31 at the time that Dr. No was shot. So it is a young Connery. It's a fixed neck head sculpt, so you've got a decent range of motion in there as well. But I don't go for anything too dynamic with this one. It can, because it's fixed neck, it can sort of put that shirt out of whack a little bit if you go for anything too extreme. But the actual, I'm going to try and get as close as I can into camera. I think this is a phenomenal head sculpt. I'm going to say it straight away. I think the sculpt is absolutely on point. The skin texture is there. The creasing in the forehead is fantastic. I think the eyes could possibly be slightly glassier, maybe, but I'm nitpicking here, and possibly the hair as well. I mean, the hair, yeah, it's good, and the style is absolutely nailed on. There's a slight seam across the top there, but it's nothing too dramatic. I think that the style of the hair is right. Just maybe the paint applications could be ever so slightly better, especially in that hairline area. There's a little bit of paint bleed from the skin application into the hair itself, but I am really being very, very nitpicky here. I think this is a fantastic head sculpt. I really do. I think as a representation of Sean Connery in Dr. No, I think it is absolutely on point. And only their second attempt at Connery, I think they knocked it out of the park with this one. They really did. So, yeah, there you have it. That is James Bond, aka Sean Connery, from Dr. No. Now, final thoughts and a score on this one. Yeah, tough one that, not the easiest. I'm going to give this, I'm going to go 9.5. It's very close to a 10, but I'm going to go 9.5 just on a couple of things. And it's the paint applications on the head sculpt. It's not the head sculpt itself. It's just, I think the paint applications could be ever so slightly better on the eyes and around that hairline. Maybe a 9.7 if such a thing exists. I think the rest of the figure, the accessories, are absolutely great. They're on point. The quality's there. The screen accuracy's there with the accessories. The variety with the Walther PPK in the box, and all the casino-related accessories as well. I think the proportions nailed on. The tailoring really is outstanding. I think Big Chief Studios, when they're flexing, could have come up with some of the best tailoring on 6 scale figures, as we'll see when we do our Peaky Blinders reviews, which are coming up on the channel shortly. But yeah, so tailoring excellent, proportions fantastic, accessories brilliant, head sculpt very good, almost perfect. It's just a gnat's breath away from being absolutely 100%. Just the paint applications on the hair, as I said, and that bleed maybe, ever such slight niggles, which bring it down to, I'm going to go with a 9.7. That's the first on this channel, a 9.7 out of 10. So there you have it. That is Big Chief Studios' take on OO7, aka Sean Connery, from the now classic movie Dr. No. So what are your thoughts on this? I'd be fascinated to hear. Is it something you've got in your collection? Have you ever ventured into the world of Big Chief Studios? What are your thoughts on the company as well? I'd be interested to hear your take on that too. So yeah, I suppose all that remains for me to say is what's coming up. Well, on the channel, in the 6 scale world, I'm not going to list too much here because literally we could go on all night about what's coming up on the channel. We'll stick with the 6 scale stuff. As you probably already know, we've got Caustic Plastics Horror of Dracula. That's Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, the deluxe edition. That's on its way to us. Org Toys, Duke Leto and Gurney Hallett from June. Blitzway's Astro Boy, that's on its way to us. Premier Toys Interstellar figures. We've got Mondo's McCready from The Thing. From Present Toys, we've got Ripley from Aliens, Anton Chigurh, No Country for Old Men, Kaneda from Akira. I could go on. We've also got retro reviews. We've got 1/12 scale stuff up for review. We've got quarter scale statues, quarter scale figures. A lot of stuff, as you can imagine, on the horizon and coming in soon. So, as I mentioned at the top there, please hit that like button, hit that bell notification icon. Most importantly, hit that subscribe button and make an old man happy. And I suppose all it remains for me to say, from James Bond, Mr. Sean Connery, and from me, take care of yourselves, happy collecting, and it's over to the showcase.